Hello everyone and welcome to another video. If you're new, my name's Emma, I'm an illustrator based in Sheffield and these are my daily-ish vlogs, and what you've seen me doing there is working through my plan to finish a self-published book idea that I've had in my brain for about 4 years, and I really just want this project done and out of the way so I can move past it more than anything. So I've been planning out the pages that I needed to do. The last couple of days has been pages 26 and 27, a double page spread. They are now finished. I got a little bit behind because yesterday it snowed quite a lot. So I wanted a cosy snow day. So I spent a lot of the day huddled under a blanket watching Prison Break. You know, I work for myself. I can allow for such fluctuations in my timetable on my calendar because I hold it lightly as well. So one of you guys, or a couple of you guys, mentioned about timetables and how some of you guys don't put down the pages that you're going to do or the exact work that you're going to do. You just allocate the time to do some work to that thing. And I think that's a really good idea. I've put pages down here. Like I said before, I want this project out of the way so I can move past it. It's so very close to being done. It's an old project that kind of worked from where I was working in like a slightly more uptight older style. I've got a lot more confidence now. I've got a lot looser in my illustrations. I mean, that's the reason it hasn't been done before, because I was going through this transition. But I feel like now's the time to finish it and get it out of the way so I can move on to fresh new projects that haven't been taking up space and going stagnant in my brain for so long. So the reason I've done specific pages for specific days, A, is to get this project done and out of the way, and B, is because a lot of it is so well planned anyway. I've got a dummy book, a maquette, which is way more detailed than I would do now. It came because I didn't know, when I was doing this, it was the first time I'd done it. So I did a really detailed maquette with all of the different colours, all of the different pages. In many ways, the illustrations that I did in this should have really been my finished illustrations, but I didn't know, and I did, the size ratio was way too small for an actual book. So now if I blew this up onto a big page, it would be pixelated. And there are a few things that I want to change in this. So that's why I was doing specific pages, because it's so highly detailed and I don't really have to think. I basically just have to colour it in. What I do is I get my thumbnail from this, put it into the page, blow it up big, reduce the transparency, trace over the lines, colour it in, because that's how I started doing this before. One thing I've noticed looking back on the pages that I'd already done, so these are the pages that I've done recently. These pages I did over Christmas and the rest were just sitting on my iPad waiting to finish for like a while. When I look back on the ones that were sitting on my iPad waiting for me to finish, because I wasn't in a confident place when I started that, some of them, not all of them, some of them look very uptight, like as though I'm uncertain on I haven't embraced my mess, basically. If you've watched me before, you'll know that I've spent a long time focusing on my sketchbooks, joining courses and drawing clubs, and really getting used to seeing my own handwriting version of my drawing. And I've realised that that's got a bit more mess. I always knew deep down it was more scribbly and it was more messy, but I didn't know how to make it. So. So you can really see the finished pages of this that were sitting on my iPad for a while. They're a bit more uptight. I can feel my inhibition to kind of just let go in it. It's almost there. Some pages, they've got that je ne sais quoi, but there's a few that don't. So I do think I'm going to have to add to that timetable and just revisit some of these pages and maybe just like add a bit of that kind of scribbly chaos back into it. It's not going to be the same kind of looseness that I'm drawing with now, because I don't want to have to start this book again from scratch. But just those pages where it needs something, I'm just going to go in over the top and just add that the little stuff that I've got now to make it work. Anyway, like I say, I was finishing that this morning, and today's pages 28 and 29 should be a fairly easy one. Not very detailed. The reason that also that pages 26 and 27 took me a while is because it was quite detailed. It was quite there was a lot going on, and also it needed to be accurate because it I don't want to spoil things. It needed to be accurate anyway. I couldn't just choose any colours. There were specific things that needed to be identifiable. So I needed to keep going back and referencing, making sure I had the right colours and stuff. So this one shouldn't take too long, but I would like to do something else other than just be in my studio for the next month. So I'm going to grab my sketchbook. I'm going to go out to the coffee shop. Hopefully there'll be people in there for me to sketch. If not, I will sketch the coffee shop and the coffee, just to get out of the house, because you don't want to see me sitting at my desk for a whole month finishing this book, because that would be very samey. So let's go. That was a really nice trip to the cafe, but now I'm back and I've got a new set of pages to do. So I'm going to set a timer for about 40 minutes and then work my way through that. After I've done that, I'll see how far I am along. I also want to spend today doing some business records, because while I am caught up on last year's business records, so I need to do my tax return at some point before the end of January, I also need to start doing my business records for the tax year 24-25, because I have not even started it yet. I got up to the end of 2024, so the tax year 23-24, which is the business record that I need to do a tax return for by the end of January. I'm so confused. 23-24, 24-25. Yeah, this is the same tax year. Yeah, so I got to the end of last year, tax year, and I just stopped doing my business records because it was Christmas. So I'm going to try and do 2 days a week where I spend 40 minutes just trying to catch up on my business records as well. So I'm going to be doing that at some point today. If you don't know what I mean by business records, I'm self-employed, so I need to file my own tax return. So what I've got is a spreadsheet that is I can fill in. So when I've earned some money, I fill it in one column. When I've spent some money, I fill it in another column, and it just tallies up and adds up what I've earned, what I've spent, my total that I've earned, minus what I've spent. So when it comes to doing my tax return, it's a bit easier. I'm not going to do that right now. I am going to get on with my book pages, and let's just see, because, you know, like I said before, I'm holding it lightly. So hopefully it all pans out. Anyway, let's just get on and do some book. So my business records for last tax year have finally been started. No, this tax year have finally been started. And I find it really helpful to block my time into 40-minute chunks. So I do 40 minutes of one job, 40 minutes of another, and when the 40 minutes is up, take a break. It's a really good way for me to, I haven't invented that, I know loads of people do that, but it's a really good way to not get overwhelmed by a job, because if you just say, look, I'm going to do this chunk now and I'll do another chunk either in 20 minutes or tomorrow or whatever, it makes it more bite-sized. And who is it who said, was it one of the Good Ship illustration people? Because I tend to quote everything that they say. I think it was Katie Chappell who she said, how would you eat an elephant? And one bite at a time, or one spoonful at a time, something like that. So that is what I've started to do now. And when I heard people telling me to do that in the past, I kind of poo-pooed it. I was like, nah, whatever, I'll just blast through and I'll get it all done. No, I actually do work better when I block my time and I have a break. Imagine that. But this is where I'm going to leave this video today, because it is getting on and I need to edit it for you. So thank you for making it to the very end, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one. So until then, bye.